Very good, very good. So that's
those,
the Kyle Hamilton news. Yeah, right. Then we talked about Ramon Henderson. Any other tidbits you want to get to?
Yeah, there were several.
Okay.
So I want to talk a couple things. Number one, we'll do Georgia Tech last.
Yep.
But Coach Kelly did talk about the senior class and especially the fifth-year senior class, because you know what, we've talked about it before, but not often. There's a lot of players that are part of this team that signed with or committed to Notre Dame either before the 2016 season, during the 2016 season, or after the 2016 season, before they went out and proved they were a better team in 2017. I mean, the entire 2017 class. Avery Davis is part of that. You look at Drew White. You look at Myron Tungavaloa. You look at Jeremiah Wusu-Koromo was part of that. Obviously, he left last year. But we talked Bo Bauer. I already said, and then you look, because Bo Bauer is part of the 2018 class, but Bo Bauer committed to Notre Dame in 2016. He was one of those guys. Kevin Austin committed to Notre Dame the summer of 2017, meaning after 2016, before the 2017 season started.
It was when it was still
and you've got Myron Tungavaloa committed to that. Josh Lugg was part of that. We talked about Drew White, John the Door, Kurt Heinisch, Myron Tungavaloa. Those are guys that either some of them committed before, but others were some of those late additions that Notre Dame got late in the process. I mean, Myron Tungavaloa is a guy they got really, really late. And that class has turned out to be a really important class. I'm looking through it now, Vince, and I'm counting, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 captains came from that class. And it would have been more if Cole Kmet would have come back for a senior year. Cole probably would have been a captain.
I agree.
Was Jeremiah Wusu-Koromo? He was not a captain last year, correct?
I thought he was.
I have to go look, but
I always have so many I can never keep it straight.
But he definitely would have been this year if he wasn't last year. So you just look at it, you say, boy, that being able to go out and identify those players and get those players, and it was a really. I'm looking at pictures of last season against Alabama. He does not have a C on his jersey, so he was not a captain last year. But he would have been had he come back for a fifth year.
Yeah, no question.
So it's and the reason we bring that up is because this is their last home game for a lot of those kids. Now, some of them I think will be back. I think Bo Bauer is going to be back based on a conversation that we recently had. At anyone that was at the tailgate knows what conversation I'm talking about. But I think he'll be back. I would assume. There's going to be some 2018 kids. Hopefully Kevin Austin comes back. But a lot of these kids, this is the last time Kurt Heinisch plays in there, and it seems like he's been there half of Brian Kelly's tenure. I mean, that's how it feels. And he's a year away from actually doing that, right? Like, I was saying that like earlier. I was like thinking to myself hyperbolically, and I was like, wait a minute, if he'd arrived 1 year sooner, he would have been here for half of Kelly's tenure. And just what he's done his whole career. He was some throwaway kid that nobody really concerned themselves with when he committed. Like, he's a 3-star kid, he's undersized, and kid's going to be a basically 3.5-year starter essentially, and a guy that was in the rotation from the moment he stepped foot on campus at Notre Dame.
Right.
Same with Myron Tungavaloa-Mosa, who, when he was healthy, he was part of that, and it's just been fun to watch those kids. And I always have a appreciation for the guys that commit when times are tough.
Absolutely,
and stick with it, because it shows that those kids really understood what Notre Dame was about. Because if it was just about football, they'd have been like. Peace. I'm out. I'm going somewhere. That's
some guys were like that, but not these kids that are still around. Obviously.
Yep.
I agree completely.
Yep.
It's always bittersweet, and it's one of the. Honestly, it's one of the things that I love about college football is the turnover, and the appreciation and the maturation process that we get to see from kids from when they first step on campus to when they finally leave campus, if they stay their entire career, right? Mm-hmm. It's one of the things I love about college football. It's not like the NFL where you can hit the waiver wire and you can do all these different things. I mean, you need to develop kids, and they need to mature, and they need to do all these different things. And when they get to run out of the tunnel the last time, they get to greet their parents, man. It's going to make me sound soft or whatever, but, man, it's one of my favorite things. And I get there early every senior day so I can watch the reaction of the families as their kid is running out. You know what I mean? And part of it probably because as my kid gets older, you start to think about that kind of stuff. But, like, man, everything that goes behind behind the scenes of parents taking their kids to practice and all that. This is their time to really get appreciated. And I love it, man. I just love every bit of it.
And this is a unique group. It really is.
100%.
It really
Absolutely.
is. The last